Yeah, so antichrists and tares. So this guy here, um, the Trinity of God and the Trinity God nor Jesus do exist. So he's saying that they don't exist, not real. So I've said bless you at the end there because like that's what Jesus says, God says, bless your enemies. So this video here was about more proof that Jesus is God Almighty. So this guy here straight away says, "You're telling me that Jesus is Nazareth is God of Abraham and Jacob." So straight away, I know this is an antichrist, right? Because you can see he's prepared for replies if he's going to comment on something like that. So yes, I've put here the Hebrews 1:8, where it shows God the Father is speaking to God the Son. All right, it actually says it, and there's no denying it. You have to actually look at it yourself. If you love God, if you want to know right about God, that's your desire. Right, you obviously don't want to make God the way you want Him to be. Otherwise, yeah, that would be a bit wrong. So your throne, O God. So this is speaking to God. Right. So Jesus, God, endures forever and ever. You rule with a scepter of justice. You love justice and hate evil. Therefore, O God, Jesus, God, your God, God the Father, has anointed you. So this is God the Father speaking to Jesus, God, has anointed you, pouring out oil of joy over more and more. He, God the Father, also says to his Son, Jesus, the Son of God, in the beginning, Lord, you laid the foundations of the earth and made the heavens with your hands. Right? Jesus has hands. Did you know that? So yes, he's made everything. Jesus is the creator of all things. All right. So as John 8:24 says, if you do not say that I am He, you will die in your sins. All right. So Jesus is the creator of all things. Okay, so totally ignored it, of course, because don't care. Well, if that's the case, right. Oh, by the way, I'll also point out this is from the Old Testament as well. The Hebrews is quoting the Old Testament, so you, you can see all the places in the Old Testament where Jesus is. You got Psalms 22, uh, Proverbs 30.4. Lots of places there. Jesus is in the Old Testament. So yeah, totally ignored. Has his little script there. This will be something he's got a copy and paste used to battling with, whatever. It's a bit there with um, Acts 3:12. When Peter saw this, he addressed the people. Why do you stare at us as though we had made him walk with our own power or godliness? The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of our ancestors, has glorified his servant, Jesus, who you handed over and denied. Ironic, he puts denied there before Philate, though he had decided to release him. You denied the holy and righteous one. All right, so the holy and righteous one. Who's the holy and righteous one? They just said it here before. Jesus, whom you handed over and denied. Okay, and asked to have a murderer released. Okay, so you denied the holy and righteous one. That's this guy here. All right. So I've said okay, but can we just go back to where it says God the Father is talking to God the Son because we can. There's a lot more to open up on that one. We can go back to the Old Testament and there's a lot more stuff to read through, so we can have a look at these things. No, man, it doesn't work like that. You said Jesus is the God of A whatever AI, but when Peter busted you, I don't know what he's talking about. No idea what he's going on about. But anyway, of course he just degrades into the nastiness, which is usually a tear trait. But yeah, this one no. This guy started to remind me of the black Hebrew Israelites because they reject Jesus, but he also started to hate Paul. Sorry. Now, since you're running from Acts 3, you want proof that Paul was a Trinitarian. All right, so he hates Paul as well, which is a black Hebrew Israelites thing. Now, I've asked him which Bible he's calling a Catholic forgery, because I'm thinking, because I've quoted First Timothy 3:16, which is a King James version verse, which says it properly the way it's supposed to be said in the Greek, which he goes on about. Um, yeah, he's saying it's all corrupted, whatever, by the Catholic Church, which it's anybody which has half studied King James knows King James went to war with the Catholic Church. He kicked down their doors and took what he wanted to make the Bible. And the guy before that, William Tyndale, who was a Catholic, was burnt on the stake by Catholics, cried out to King James, and cried out to God, sorry, to open King James's eyes, which God did. And King James made the Bible and survived 8 assassination attempts from the Catholic Church because they did not like him. So yeah, anyone who's studied that sort of stuff would realise that. So this guy is just doesn't matter. He's just doesn't want anything to be against what he's saying. So yes, Antichrist. So there's nothing you can do with this guy. You can't. He's got some book here he quotes, and I'm like, well, you trust this book over the Bible? Well, there's nothing I can say, right? Because he doesn't trust the Bible. Nothing. No, the words of God are not the words of God, apparently, according to this guy. And God can't give us a Bible because men are more powerful than God and they can corrupt His word. So, yeah, there's no point in talking with these people here. God will use him for the glory of God. That's you can't you can't do anything bad against God. He's just used this guy in a godly way. So yeah, just say bless him and see what God does to use this guy. So he's using this guy to teach Christians to sharpen their swords on, so they'll learn that don't get too stressed. There's people like this in the world, and that's the way. You'll just have to keep an eye out for him. So that's an antichrist. That's not a tear. All right, tears are different to this guy. All right, God bless.